Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I know why you're here because today I'm going to review the new Natasha Denona foundation. This is the Hy-Glam Hydrating and Blurring Longwear Radiant Serum Foundation. I have the shade Y7, and I also picked up the concealer. This is the Hy-Glam concealer, yes, in the shade Y7 as well. So I'm not gonna talk too much. Let's dive into this review. This is how the packaging looks like. It's really nice. It's a frosted glass with a plastic lid. It's 30 ml. Concealer is like this. I have a moisturizer already. I use a different moisturizer. The reason why, because I say that different moisturizer. This is actually the second time that I'm going to apply this foundation. I'm going to show you a little bit of clip from the first time that I tried, but I'm definitely gonna spill some tea here today. Well, some tea. I'm just gonna share my experience with it, and this is the second time that I'm going to try and see how it looks like. So let's do a primer. I'm gonna use my Bobbi Brown primer here. I love this primer, who doesn't? And I'm just gonna try to apply it on the texture side. My skin is slightly dry at the moment, which is perfect for what it is, right? Like, it's hydrating. It's supposed to be a serum foundation. Okay, so that is the Bobbi Brown primer. Now I'm going to use the Huda Beauty primer on this side. And I'm going to explain later to you guys why I am going to use two primer today. Okay, you guys, so that's good enough. I'm going to apply this foundation. Let's give it a good shake right here. Okay, I'm also going to show you the close-up look of the texture of this one. So there is the texture and the formula. It's not so runny, but it's also not creamy. It's just in the middle, and that's how the shade looked like. So I ordered Y7 because I actually can't order them in the store. I can't go in because there's no Natasha Denona here. So I ordered Y7. I feel like this is the safest shade for me, and it's going to be winter soon. If it's a little lighter, I understand because this is like my summer color or skin. But the other thing is, we're going to see, or you are going to see, if this foundation oxidizes today. Okay, so the one pump, I put it on my face. I'm gonna use a sponge. So let's blend this foundation. Okay, so that is the one pump on my face, this side, and you can see how much it's covered. Okay, so you decide if that's a full coverage or not, but in my opinion, it's not a full coverage so far. And also, this is a sponge. So on this side, I'm going to show you the brush application. Again, one pump. And keep in mind, this one has a different primer. I'm just gonna go straight with you guys now. I'm just gonna be honest. So the reason why that I want to put two different primer today, because on the very first day, or the very first time that I tried this foundation, I used the Huda Beauty primer. I was not impressed. It was separating after 10 hours. And I know I've already said that, and I'm not taking it back because that's what happened. And I even told my friend, like, it was good, and then it separated. I'm gonna show you a clip. But anyway, so I wanted to try it one more time today to see how can we make it work and what type of product that this foundation like. My channel is all about finding ways to make the product work, and we don't judge right away, right? We want to make sure that we give it a chance, a fair chance. But I have read a lot of review, I've seen a lot of review, and those people swears by it, they love it. So I was just a little bit disappointed on the first day that it did not work well for me. So this is the brush. So I definitely see that very naturalness to the product. It is a serum foundation, so you see this glow. But I do have some other serum foundation that I love and just like works perfectly for me. So here you can see I don't have any redness or anything. It looks really nice, except that the shade is lighter. Now I want to build this foundation just a little bit more. So I'm gonna add half a pump and apply right into the higher part of my face. And I'm blending like this way, so I'm really just dabbing the product. So I'm also gonna tell you, my skin is like little dry patches, but overall I wouldn't consider it as like super dry all over my skin. It's okay. And I'm just gonna use the sponge on this side, just a finishing touch up, because we already used the brush. It works perfectly with the brush too. But overall, I prefer to apply foundation on a sponge. Okay, so here is the full application of foundation. I actually stepped to see it on the natural light, and so far I'm quite impressed. It's not the same as the first time when I applied it, like, because before I saw right away that it was settling on my pores and it was kind of like floating onto like texture of my skin. Today it's different. Today is not doing that. It sits properly, so I'm impressed. There's some stuff that I applied before and did not apply today, so I will discuss all of that later. So I'm gonna try this concealer. Although I'm not going to kind of review this, you probably have seen this already, but if you want to get my reaction to this, I would just say straight up that this is a good concealer. I'm gonna blend this with my sponge again. Okay, concealer is done. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set my under eye with the Huda Beauty powder. Here, I have the shade Pound Cake. So I'm just setting this up quickly because my eyes needs it. Alright, there you go. And so before I set my whole face with a powder, I'm just gonna show you quickly what I noticed with this foundation. I did build up like the same way as I would build up with my other foundation, and usually it would be good enough. Like, I wouldn't want to touch it one more time because it covers. So this foundation, the formula is very sort of silky, thin, serumy foundation. It covers some of the redness, but I can still see that texture peeking through, so it's not covering 100%. And for that, I would probably just kind of build up one more time and see how it is. With my other foundation, this would have been covered by now. I think I'm gonna leave this on for about 10 to 20 seconds to let it dry, and then we're gonna blend it. So, I'm just focusing on the area where I need a little bit more coverage. That's what exactly I would do if I'm not reviewing a foundation. I'm just gonna go over with concealer there, but because I don't want to drag concealer everywhere, this is a foundation review and I want you guys to see what exactly the foundation is and not the concealer. Concealer is good, I'm telling you already. So that's the foundation so far. I am really happy, and even though I built up 3 layers on this side, it doesn't look like it's becoming like too heavy, too thick on the skin. It still looks very fine and looks like skin. So now I'm going to set this face with the powder. So I'm gonna use my puff here. This is a rare video where I actually review a foundation in the morning. I forgot to show you the time. So right now it is 8:53 already. Let's say we started around 8:30 and we're probably gonna finish right around 9. And I want to show you a close-up look right after setting this with powder and right after setting it with setting spray. Okay, so here it is with a powder, looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at it in the natural light again. Okay, so looking at the natural light, I definitely see the powder kind of floating and like, clinging onto my fuzzy hair, but that's not a problem. This is the reason why we have a moisture spray or something and a setting spray. So I'm gonna use this two today and see the result. Okay, so let's give this a little bit of mist first and then let this dry. If you haven't seen me talk about this moisturizing spray, this is the only one that I use. It's from Clinique. It's the Moisture Surge. Look how much I've used already. Halfway. So Sephora discount is coming up. I guess I have to get another one. Okay, now I'm gonna set my skin with the Urban Decay All Nighter. And let's try it again. Okay, so here is the look. I did step out again on the natural light and I saw my skin and it's so promising and I'm very, very hopeful. I'm gonna give you a close-up look to see this like goodness already. Okay, so you see that the moisturizing spray and the setting spray did the job. It doesn't look like as fuzzy now. It looks like it's more of a skin, natural skin. It doesn't look like very cakey. So far so good. I am going to do the rest of my makeup off cam, but this is just what I wanted to show you today, the look of the foundation. Later on, I am actually going to work today, so I might not be able to check in middle with you, but I'm going to try to film it on my phone and insert it here to see how it looks like after 5 hours. So 5 hours, you guys. Today I'm just gonna wait until this foundation set and have done some wearing. I need to see it first, but so far it is slightly different looking than the first time I tried. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in just a few hours. Bye. So here is the face after 10 hours of wearing the foundation. Right now it is 7 p.m. right here. This is the look. I am surprised that my face doesn't look as shiny as when I first tried on. So I'm going to give you a close-up look of what I'm talking about, and so you guys can see and decide what do you think. But I also going to give you my final thought just after I show you everything. So here it is. So this is the foundation, a 10-hour wear. If you look into the forehead right here, I don't see some parts were collecting. I don't see it settling onto my fine lines as you see there. So basically the foundation just stays where it is. It actually looks like pretty good. It's not too oily. And although on this side right here where my texture is, it came off a little bit. I don't know why, but you can see just a slightly dryness around the area, which kind of like it throws me off a little bit. Although on this side, which has the the Huda Beauty primer, now it's better, and this one has the Bobbi Brown, although it's moisturizing, but it still kind of like clings into my dryness, and around my nose it's kind of disappear over here. Although this side here, my son was grabbing my nose this afternoon, so I don't blame the foundation for that. But here it's kind of like disappearing around the chin, kind of like went away. But overall, that is the look after 10 hours. Now I'm going to discuss my final thought and everything that I did on the first time I tried and what I did today that kind of improved a little bit. So on the first time I tried, I used a different moisturizer. I was using a Tatcha moisturizer, and that one seems a bit slippery for the foundation because it's serum foundation. Whenever I touch my foundation on that first try, it kind of like comes off and I can see some marks on my face. So I was like, oh no. And the other thing that I use is I use a serum spray, but then I kind of like, why? Because this is exactly what I use with some other foundation that works for me. Actually, on the first try, I did not use any primer on this side, and today I used two different primer to see what it is. So today I tried a different moisturizer. I actually used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream because that one is such a good one as well. And then I changed my moisturizing spray to the Moisture Surge, which is I love. And the primer that I use the Bobbi Brown as you see this morning and the Huda Beauty. So obviously this side it's not moving a lot, but also I see just a little bit of clinging into the dryness, but it's not crazy. It's not as the same as the first day that I tried. This is my experience, and I've seen a lot of people have reviewed this foundation, have tried on, and they love it. And I will continue experimenting with this foundation. It's just that the first day wasn't good for me. The second day, I'm not convinced because I still see a lot of like disappearing of foundation, dryness clinging into my dryness, and overall, I wouldn't say that this is such a great launch or like a great foundation. Like I love it right away. It still has a lot of work and I still have to discover it. But overall, the staying power 10-hour wear, it's not as oily. I think it's just all because of the moisturizer that I use. That might be too much for the foundation. That's why it was so oily on the first day. Today it's not as oily, it's not as separating, and it's not as clinging to my dryness compared to yesterday. So that's what I noticed. So overall, my thought about this foundation, I am not impressed. I have high hopes with this foundation, and I was like, I'm wanting it, like I hope that it works for me, but it's not the way how I expected it. So if I were to rate this foundation, I would say 6.5. I would say that way, the safest score. It's not going to be my number one go-to foundation, and I'm also going to compare. You guys wait for all the comparison because you are going to see. And like I said, you never know with a different moisturizer or anything that it might change, like weather or something, my skin might change. You never know, this foundation might be so good. So I will keep experimenting it and I will update you guys. So far, that's a final thought, and I would give it a score 6.5. Maybe for others it works great, but for me it just doesn't. So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.